Twitter's unofficial mayor, Chrissy Teigen, deleted her account on Twitter after citing its negativity and toxicity. So I'll read you her reasoning and then we can vote in the poll. Chrissy Teigen, yes or no? She says that for over 10 years.
No. I want to be clear. We're doing a news program here, and I want to be fair to Chrissy Teigen. No one is questioning whether she's yes or no. Twitter, yes or no, is the poll.
Oh, okay. Twitter,
okay.
yes or no.
Yeah. Okay. And I think that's a real Dromsy poll. I can't wait to tell you the other side of this, but we're going to tell you why Teigen left and why she's a no. I assume she'll be voting the poll imminently, and she'll probably be voting no.
Well, here's what she has to say about it. For over 10 years, you guys have been my world. I honestly owe so much to this world we have created here. I truly consider so many of you my actual friends, but it's time for me to say goodbye. This no longer serves me as positively as it serves me negatively. And I think that's the right time to call something. My life goal is to make people happy. The pain I feel when I don't is too much for me. I've always been portrayed as the strong clapback girl, but I'm just not. Live well, tweeters. Please know all I ever cared about was you. No, I think we should do a poll. Chrissy Teigen, yes or no?
No, really? No, I love that comment.
No, that statement was so ridiculous, Cenk. Does anyone actually believe she thinks that? Come on.
I do.
Come on. All I ever cared about was you. No,
I don't know. Look, color me naive. But it felt, I think it was heartfelt. This kind of skepticism is what drove her from Twitter in the first place. Okay.
Good point. Now, CNN reports that Teigen is known for her witty Twitter comebacks and has had several colorful spats, which have trended on the platform, including with former US President Donald Trump, who she called the P word, according to Ben Shapiro. No, I'm sorry, editors, you guys are gonna have to bleep this out, but yes. And after the president branded her as Legend's, quote, filthy mouthed wife following discussions about criminal justice reform. So look, I agree with her wholeheartedly about the toxicity of Twitter. I certainly feel that. And I've been more cognizant about my own participation in toxic behavior on Twitter, because I think everyone kind of ends up falling into that culture if you're on Twitter too much. I think it's really healthy to take long breaks from Twitter, as I've done. I don't know if I would delete my Twitter account, only because I'm not Chrissy Teigen and I don't have as much influence as she does. And Twitter is still at least some way of reaching out and hearing from our actual viewers and people who have constructive feedback. But overall, yeah, the culture of Twitter is incredibly toxic, and everyone should log off for long stretches and enjoy the real world. Go outside, take a nature walk, enjoy the flowers, enjoy real life a little bit.
Yeah, look, I'm on Teigen's side, but ironically, I'm going to do a spirit defense of Twitter here, and I'm going to vote yes on Twitter in our poll, tyt.com/polls. We have sophisticated polls like Twitter, yes or no. Look, first of all, look, she's plenty wealthy. She doesn't have to do a grift. She doesn't have to do any of that stuff. She has 13.7 million followers on Twitter. She's gigantic. They have everything they need in the world, right? So when she says my life goal is to make people happy, I actually believe her, and I think that's wonderful. And when she says, people think I'm the clapback girl, but I'm not really. I get hurt. I get, like I'm human, and my feelings get hurt. I think that's really raw and honest, and I appreciate that. And I think that's true. And I think that's true for almost all of us. I say almost because I think I'm past it. And so I just don't want to be overconfident. We'll talk about that in a second. But the reason that why I think Twitter is great, and I get the toxic part, right? And I do participate in it, and I want to come back to that. But we are breaking through to mainstream media through Twitter, unlike anything we've ever experienced. And when I say we, I mean two sets of folks, and I'm in both of those camps. Progressives, before Twitter, there's a wall, a gigantic. It makes the Great Wall of China look like a step stool. Okay, the mainstream media had this wall against progressives and would never ever hear us out. But on Twitter, they're hearing us. The second group is outsiders. And so the insiders never heard from outsiders. Now they're hearing from them, for better and for worse. And at least that message is getting through in some way to them, which is an outlet that didn't exist before. All right, Anna, you were gonna say something.
So I wanted to thank our member, Jess Ortega, who's watching right now. And she actually tweeted with a tidbit that's really important to know about the story. Chrissy Teigen was also being relentlessly harassed by QAnon people. And in her statement, she's like, and to the QAnon people who think I'm in Guantanamo Bay right now, LOL, I saw Q into the storm and saw that I'm working, saw what I'm working with here, and LOL, I no longer care. Don't flatter yourselves. So maybe that also played a role in her decision to disable her Twitter account. But look, that's the other part of it, right? And I think Cenk and I have a lot of experience with this. Every once in a while, you'll be the target of some Twitter campaign, right, of some sort. And you know what happens? Nothing. They'll be harassing you for X amount of days. Just log off and then come back a week or two later, and it's done. These are most of them are bots, and if they're not bots, if they're real people, they'll be distracted by whatever the soup of the day is tomorrow or next week. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, no. Well, with me, they stay like parasites forever, but I'm amused by them. So, so mission not accomplished. So I want to give one more piece of credit to Teigen before we move on. She also shared really tough details of her life, like miscarriage, on Twitter, and so people gave her a lot of crap for that. But I think it took tremendous courage for her to do that, and she actually spoke for a lot of women there and help them realize it's not a shameful thing, et cetera. And I think that was very brave and actually did help. Now to me, look, I get both sides of it. One side is the attacks that Anna's talking about, and somebody should do a doctoral thesis on my Twitter mentions. Now you're gonna say, oh, you're so arrogant. No, it's just fascinating, right? But one, it's substantial enough that you'll have a lot of data. Right, and number two, and this is the interesting part, I get attacked by almost every contingent, and it's fascinating. So like there's the weirdo left that oh no, Cenk, you once didn't do the thing we wanted you to do, and I hate you forever, and they're like nonstop, right? There's like the hardcore communist left who's like, oh my God, you're a capitalist pig who doesn't want to murder all the bankers, okay? Then there's the right wing, and of course, every kind of nut on the right wing. There's so many layers of that, you can't get through it all. You know, the Cenk yogurt, and everybody's got their different talking points. Oh, this on that historical thing, and that on this, and half the talking points are ancient, are not anywhere near relevant. But again, it might be bots, or it might be like, never got the memo. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna get Cenk on this. Oh, mention a random animal. You're into owls. So I, and oh, by the way, the last part is the establishment. It's amazing because the establishment will come in and be like, oh, you're not kissing enough Democratic ass. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. You just get high and check out my Twitter mentions on any post I have. It doesn't matter, and I think you'll be deeply amused. But look, I also take part in arguably what people would call the toxicity, and why do I do it? And so, what do I mean by that? So I will kick people's ass on Twitter, and I will enjoy it. And so people say, "Oh, Cenk, that's what." No. Look. Nestor is not Matt Gaetz' son, and I'm here to talk about it. Okay, he just isn't. He did it again the other day, by the way. I don't know if you guys saw that. He's like, "Oh, Nestor needs to take spring break, and my son, dude, shut up. It's like super weird that you're living with a non-related male adult, and you keep calling him your son when he's not your son. Anyway, so will I point out how stupid Republicans are? Goddamn right, I will. Okay, and is it because like I like to make people uncomfortable? No. It's because the left, the rational left, does not fight hard enough. And that leaves the playing field, unfortunately, to the right wingers. And so there needs to be people like us who are both rational and aggressive. And that's super rare. So we fight those battles online because we don't want to lose the framing wars. And you want to point out the absurdities of the other side. And the corporate Democrats are never, ever going to do it. So I don't mind being a warrior in there, but don't let it get, I know it's super hard, but don't let it get to you. For me, I'm like, it all rolls off my back. It's just a fun night for, when I get high and read that. So sometimes, as I've said before, I'll do like a quote I actually mean, but is on the non-political side, is on like about philosophy or something, because that sets everybody off. And then
I
read their comments.
I hate that though.
No, I
hate that it sets people off, because every once in a while I want to tweet about things that aren't even political, right? Like this morning, I decided to treat myself to a tasty little treat of putting honey in my coffee. And I was like, why am I keeping this secret for myself? Why don't I share this with my Twitter followers? They should also sweeten their coffee with honey. And then I'm like, I know the second I do this, it's going to lead to a bunch of annoying trolling. So I didn't do it, right?
No, you do it, Anna, do it. Look, so I do that sometimes. Who cares about their trolling? That's what I'm amused by. So if I did that tweet, like secret, hashtag not secret anymore after this expose, honey and coffee, think about it, right? So what would happen next is, of course you would say that, you capitalist pig. You want us everybody to buy Too Strong coffee. This is a subliminal message.
You sold out to the honey lobby, didn't you? You sell out, you corporate shill.
Yeah,
you corporate Hillary cash taking shill.
Yeah, I always knew you were part of hashtag Big Honey. And then the right wing will come in and be like, "Oh, you libs, you like to, that's not tradition in America. We put sugar in our coffee. I don't know what you guys do in the Middle East, okay? But we don't put honey in there, right?"
You know what I sometimes do, by the way, Cenk? Sometimes I put condensed milk in my coffee. Try it, you'll like it.
Okay, and of course, then there'll be the contingent who's like, "Oh, when we wanted you to put honey in your coffee, you wouldn't do it. You wouldn't force the honey. But now all of a sudden, okay, you got honey in your coffee. We see you, right?" And the establishment would be like, "Oh, yeah, I noticed that you didn't give credit to Kamala Harris, even though she has a K hive. And where do you think the honey comes from?" So Twitter, I vote yes.
Twitter, I vote maybe. Like,
I didn't know that was one of the options. But Anna, you know what? A legend once told me, "You do you, boo. You don't have to follow the rules. You want to vote maybe, vote maybe. And vote it on Twitter. Say it loud, say it proud."
That's what I'm doing.
It just happened.
All right.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.